How you doing? So tonight I have been left completely alone to my own devices, and that will probably, we just blame all of that on the ladies who decided to bail on me tonight. Sure, one of them has the flu. Sure, the other one probably has food poisoning. And my wife, well, I think she just bailed. So tonight I'm taking over and we're going to do things my way. No editors, which really should have our marketing team probably running scared right now. We're going to be talking about all things creature and things like that because, a majority of a Comic-Con or a pop culture con is creatures and, cosplay and things like that. And to prove that I know what I'm talking about, and that I can help you. If you have any questions on builds and stuff, tonight's the night to do that. To prove that I know what I'm talking about, I've actually built most of this stuff. So, I'm going to move that out of the way so I don't get myself into trouble. So, you could trust me. If you need books, I got books. You can go. Everyone's cringing right now. You can go on Amazon and get any one of my how-to books on how to do things like latex mask making, making shrunken heads and creature fur and hair. God knows I know a little thing about creature fur and hair. So, matter of fact, we had somebody in the shop the other day coming to visit, and right over here on our, our little green room area, they sat down and looked at the couch and were like, do you guys got a cat? No. Look around you. There's hair everywhere. It's all synthetic. It's not real, but it's everywhere. It's friggin' everywhere. Fur, hair, everywhere, but, here. So, anyway, what do we got, Dave here? You are early. Yes, I am early because I'm twitchy. The power has gone out once already tonight, and I figure I might as well try to get this in as quickly as I possibly can. If we get cut off, it's probably a power issue and not necessarily anything that happened with the FCC or anything like that. So like if you're interested in learning how to build stuff, I got these really great how-to books. I mean, I know I just said, my own how-to books are really great, but I really kind of break things down for you guys to essentially help you step by step, with visuals and all kinds of stuff. There's like 100 photos in almost every one of these things besides text. So you need pictures, Plus, you can also get Surviving Reality online. That was my tell-all on a little television show I happened to be on. I was on TV. Yeah, it was. How you doing? Anyway, let's move on. So what do we got? Snowmageddon. Not quite. I mean, it ain't pleasant outside. It was this afternoon. Sun was shining. It was like 50 degrees. It was like fun to be out in town. Now it's not so much, I'm sure you can hear the cars going by. We moved the set here tonight because this was like a really great place for us to shoot the show from this point on. So we moved the set over here again tonight thinking that, that's what we were going to do. Little did we know that it was going to start snowing the second everything was in place. So now the road's wet. You hear the cars going by, so please ignore it. I am going to try to keep up with the questions. I am here 100% alone tonight. That's how abandoned I am. All right. Gave a shout out to some of the cast, not the cast, but some of our crew helping us work on Ogden UnCon. We've probably got the greatest crew in the world, man. I mean, these guys are severely dedicated. Some of the things that we ask them to do and, that they just put up with. So I'm going to give a shout out to all those guys and say thank you very much for all of your support. It's going to get worse. Anyway, so what do we got here? We got Dave. Can't really trust anything Dave has to say. He punches every piece of hair. Yes, I do. Thank you, Dave. Yeah, he's saying that in jest because he's heard me say it a million times. Whenever we'll take some of these creatures with us to like a city show or something, people are always asking me, is it fur? And it's not. It's actually individually punched, one hair at a time with a needle. And yes, I sometimes miss. I got holes in my fingers to prove it. So thank you guys for all the love. I appreciate it. All the likes and stuff that are coming in. Did you guys see that we hit 2,400 organically grown likes and followers tonight? That's freaking awesome. You know, we didn't do anything. We didn't buy bots and stuff like that. I mean, we were really trying to make sure that the likes that we had and the followers that we had were legitimately excited about a local Comic-Con or a local pop culture con. I need to keep saying that. You know, here in Ogden, we wanted to make sure that the people that we were talking to were actually human people, and you know, and that they were as excited as we were about what's coming to Ogden. So, you know, we are really excited about what's coming to Ogden. We're you know, this city has so much to offer to begin with, and you know, it's really kind of designing itself as this new art mecca in Utah, and you know, we're just happy to be a part of that, because if there's one thing about a pop culture con, a Comic-Con, or however you want to call it, you know, they are 100% art. It's all about art, whether you're an actor, an author, you know, a costume designer, whether you're designing costume pieces, you know, people with you know, the swords that they build and things like that. It is 100, the food that comes to the cons, and you know, microbreweries and everything. It's 100% art, all about art. So, you know, we're definitely thrilled to be a part of that. So I'm going to run down the questions real quick. Whenever I'm looking that way, I'm actually looking at my laptop, so I apologize. I love watching you on the show. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've got some fur in my friggin' eye right now. I can mention. I'm thinking you're probably talking about the creature shop. That was a lot of fun. So you know, I definitely wanted to come on and at least discuss something that was of interest to me. I mean, we had like no time to come up with a show, you know, a plan for a show. Legitimately, we have one that's got the flu, one that she thinks that she's been food poisoned, and my wife who has just abandoned me. So, you know, as we were coming up scrambling for a show, and this is what I threw together at the 11th hour. And I was still a little early. So, you know, I'm kind of proud of myself. But so thank you, Jenny. I appreciate that. You should have let us know. Yeah, it was all last minute, Shani. It was totally last minute. But this is good because I'm surrounded by creatures. If I move this table too much, some of them are going to fall over. I can't tell you how long it took me to stack these bitty Bigfoot right here. This is some of our creatures that we've created. This one right here, and I don't dare touch it too much, but this one was created by myself and my partner in crime there, Kim and M, who is the one that's out with food poisoning, by the way. She painted the creature. It was her first time with a chimp type, paint scheme, and so we were really kind of, you know, I was kind of proud of her. She pulled it off with no problem whatsoever. I don't get to build a lot of creatures lately. We spent a lot of time, you know, working on building the show, which is literally a full-time job. And when I say full-time, I'm usually up upwards of 3 a.m., up at 6 to start all over again. So it's a lot of work. It's gonna be completely worth it. It's already feels like it's worth it. So I mean, we're so excited for the stuff that we've got coming to to Ogden and the show. It's going to bring the economic impact that it's going to bring, all those things. So we've been talking a little bit about cosplay and stuff. And while this isn't completely cosplay, some of these things are masks and things that I've built. So I mean, I've worked on creatures for cosplayers. I've worked on creatures for films and things like that. So if you have any questions about builds, feel free to ask. But I want to drop in really quick how cool our cosplay competition is going to be. We are actually putting it on our cosplay competition for the for Ogden UnCon is going to be Sunday. That's going to be June 9th. Holy crap. It's going to be Sunday, June 9th, the last day of the convention, but we're saving the best for last is the way we're looking at it. We want you to have a good time the first few days, and then we're going to kick it off with this really great contest. Some of the stuff that we're going to be giving away, we keep talking about, like, not giving away, but giving away as prizes for the contest, for those who have won the contest. you know, we keep talking about Stan Winston Studios and Stan Winston's School of Creature Arts and stuff, and we've kind of like been talking about it, sort of like talking around it without actually showing you anything about it. So tonight I brought just a few of the cool things that you're going to get in that little package of you know, online membership that they're offering. It's a 1-year membership that they're giving out for first and second and third prize. So I mean, these things are cool. This doesn't even touch the surface of the stuff that they've got on that. I mean, I have got, and I'm going to tell you honestly, I have $3,000 worth of Stan Winston, you know, creature School of Character Arts videos. Some of them have, like, you know, 3. There's a part 1, part 2, part 3. You know, I mean, these things are amazing. I mean, they've got this this nifty little behind the scenes deal. Stuff like, you know, mastering special effects disasters. And this is, you know, it kind of like falls into the realm of, you know, when a director asks you to do something on the fly that wasn't in the script, you know, like throwing a, you know, a helmet that was not designed to be thrown, you know, a military helmet that wasn't designed to be thrown, and then have it thrown and break, and then why did it break? Now you got to fix it. Well, because it wasn't in the script that the guy was going to ad-lib and throw it. So anyway, so, you know, like robot brains, I mean, everything from, you know, trying to think of some of this stuff. So this is obviously animatronics, you know, corsets. These things are in, you know, when it comes to creature suits, these things are invaluable. A lot of people think, oh, it's a corset, but these are utilitarian corsets. These are what you can do with these, and this one depicts, like, she's actually putting, like, arrows in there, so it's got, like, these screws that go in, and you can thread them, and they stick out, and it'll move with the body as if the arrow is actually in the person. But in a more reasonable use for these things would be for, like, our friends in the furry world. You know, those suits are hot. I mean, so you would build one of these corsets, and then you would put pockets throughout, and it would be little ice packs that'll keep you cool, because, you know, heat exhaustion is a real thing for most cosplayers. You know, what do we got here? Beauty and age makeup, cable, you know, cable mechanics and stuff. You know, animatronic design basics. This doesn't even scratch the surface. I couldn't possibly fit them on the table. That's how many of these things I've got. And I've been doing this for 20 years, and still I refer to these things because there's always another way to do something. Whether it's better or if it's worse, you know, if it's something that you don't want to try out, then, you know, you just don't do it. But there's been so many times I've watched these and I found you know, a shortcut that maybe I could get away with something, you know, a little differently, or maybe there was a better way of making a mold, and you get stuck in this paradigm, and now these things will take you out of that paradigm. Sometimes you don't even realize that you've been stuck or trapped in that particular world. So, you know, it's great to have reference material that you can refer back to. So these are the prizes that we're looking at giving for, you know, for our cosplayers, you know, in our cosplay contest. So, and this is just some of them. I mean, we're working really hard to build up that prize list, so that when you guys come in, you feel like you've gotten a little treasure trove of awesome. And, you know, that's what we're going for. We do have some time constraints. It is our first year, so we're still trying to build, you know, things up. So, you know, we do have an intermediate category, and we'll have, you know, an advanced category, but we will not be working on, at least the plan right now is not to have a beginners category. And it's not because we don't feel beginners, you know, don't have any kind of anything to bring to the table. It's just it's a time availability to us. So, you know, and we greatly apologize for that. I mean, it's not something like we're not trying to snub anybody. But if we can work it in, we will definitely work it in. It's just we've got a lot of programming, over 400 hours of programming that we have packed into this convention, and we want to make sure that you know, that it all kicks off well. And, you know, in the future years, we will add more to the show. So, you know, just kind of like, those are some of the things I wanted you to kind of keep up on. I'm going to scroll down real quick just to see where some of these messages have gone. Let me see. Sent it is already. Now all of those need to come to Ogden discussion group. so we can tell stories about the about the convention. Yeah, trying to think. So, haha. Yeah, you guys are cracking me up. Yeah, it's a struggle. These things are tough. Building creatures is tough. Let me see. You've got a bunch of cosplay behind you too. Yes. The cosplay behind us are pieces that are on display from local cosplayers that do this stuff themselves. Again, putting these things together, out of nothing. I mean, I like to talk about cosplayers as if they are the future of special effects. They're the president of special effects. To be honest with you, there are things that we do in films that we have to cheat because we can't make it work right on the set, or even we don't. There's something that always goes wrong with the with the mechanisms or whatever. So to reduce the stress, sometimes they'll add a CG element to like the Iron Man suit, to make the little parts of the compartment pop up, so it looks a little more like all this stuff is packed away in this space that you can't imagine. It's that universe where you go through. It's essentially it's just a cup, but you open it up and there's an entire universe in there that no walls or or whatever. It's just a vast space. But to watch cosplayers build these Iron Man suits that work, that have these pop-ups and these little missile things that just come out and and they look realistic and they look superb. I mean, that is a huge thing. I mean, and people take notice, and we're just always, I know most of us, I won't speak for everybody in the special effects world, but, are in awe of some of the things that we see cosplayers do, making the thing on the screen actually come to life. And it's, it's just amazing to all of us. So when I say I have a great amount of respect for cosplayers and what they do, I definitely, that is a fact. So we've got local cosplayers that have displayed some of their work here at the gallery. That's where we're coming to you from. Tonight is in the gallery. We got some stuff over here. Zach Picard's Sparrow is over here, and we got some stuff up along the wall on the other side. I mean, you guys, if you get a chance, come by. We're open Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 to 4, and we definitely want people to come out and check out the cosplayers stuff, and also First Fridays in the evening, unless we have to do a remote, and then unfortunately we'll be doing a remote First Friday somewhere else. But so what do we got here? Jenny, what is the best adhesive for prosthetics face pieces? It depends on what you're using. Like, for instance, a lot of us are going towards, things like Pros-Aid transfers, which is pretty much, it's already adhesive. I mean, you're making it with Pros-Aid. You're doing this freezing process, which technically ruins the Pros-Aid, but in ruining it, you're creating something new. And so, it's sort of, and it's so translucent and so amazing. These makeup pieces are fantastic. I mean, it is a process. So, and oddly enough, Stan Winston, School of Character Arts has a video on how to make your own Pros-Aid transfer. I think they've got like at least 2 videos that I'm aware of. One for zombies, and the other one I think was another creature one. And there is a bit of a formula to it, but you kind of like work through the formula that you want slowly. But the cool thing about Pros-Aid transfers is once you add a little Pros-Aid to them, they're already sticky to begin with, because like I said, it's made of adhesive, and you add a little Pros-Aid to it and it actually adheres to the surface. It's pretty easy to remove with warm damp cloths. If you're using silicone, you want a silicone adhesive, because nothing sticks to silicone but silicone. And you can get like silicone medical adhesive from a friend of mine in North Salt Lake. The company's name is Special Effects Supply, and I think it's fxsupply.com. And he sells these little jars of Pros-Aid, sorry, not Pros-Aid, of medical adhesive and extra strength medical adhesive. It's a silicone based adhesive, and you can use that for your silicone prosthetics and stuff like that. Might even be able to use that with a silicone mask to kind of like get it to hold tight. Sometimes, you know, they might get stretched out or whatever. That might be a good thing to kind of hold it into place. Spirit gum is not a way to go, just so you know. Just avoid it at all costs. It's sort of like one of those things that went the way of the dodo. You know, no one really wants to use it. It stinks. It's messy. It's, you know, it's gross, you know, so just it's basically garbage. You can use the Prozaid also on like foam latex appliances and things like that. So I would say, just depending upon what you're working with, I would use either the medical adhesive for silicone or Prozaid for basically anything else. And I would also look into a material called Bond Off. I think it's made by Ben Nye to help you remove that stuff, you know, at the end of the night, or you know, the end of, you know, whatever you're wearing the prosthetic for. What else do we got? So that was Jenny. Hope I answered your question. Let me think. Stephanie Watts. Wow, that's a lot. Yes, there's a lot of, oh, you might be talking about the videos, and I hope that was the case. Jez, what do you got here? I like that you put on your web to put themselves on the immediate. Yeah. Yes. We do. If you are a beginner, I mean, you might be more advanced than you think. You know, this is back to the cosplay contest. So yes, definitely give the intermediate a try. If you want to try, what's the worst that could happen? You don't place, you know, I mean, but you were in, you know, you got some critiques from some judges that know what's going on. We've got some great judges. We got some great showrunners for that coming online. Let me think. Some of the judges. We've got some friends from Face Off that'll be judging that, and they're builders themselves, so they know, you know, all the hard work that goes into that stuff. I mean, we're trying to do our best to make sure that you get great feedback, that you get the recognition for the hard work that you've put into those costumes, that you're not just kind of like, you know, given a number and you don't know how it was that you reached that number, and then where did you place and stuff like that. So we got some crazies running down the street. Fetch me musket. Let me see. What else do we got here? Oh, Jenny had another question. I cast my own horns in latex and need some heavy stuff. Let me see, some heavy stuff for my sweaty face. Oh, so see, some horns in latex. It would depend on how big those latex horns are. If you can, you might also want to look into maybe casting them with some kind of like a really thin latex, and maybe kind of add a little foam, polyurethane foam to the interior. That way they're really soft. We did something similar on the Jim Henson Creature Shop with the big Minotaur that I had created, where it had this thin latex skin, and most of it was, you know, foam on the interior. And if the foam is still too heavy, at least at that point, you can do what we call hogging it out and ripping out some of that extra foam to lighten it a little bit. It might bring the weight down, and it gives you a bigger surface. If you've got like some polyurethane foam on the bottom, like the surface that'll stick to your head, it'll give you a bigger surface to glue down. So you're not just doing the edges of the horn and then having to blend those in. That would be my advice. It does depend on you know, how big those horns are. So let me think. Dave, is that Hellboy cosplay? Is that oh, crap, Dave, I'm sorry, I missed what you're referring to when it says is that for Hellboy cosplay. Let me think. Yes, definitely, Jenny. I'm glad I was able to help. We got Randall on here. Can I be a beginner? Randall, okay, so Randall's whole family are cosplayers. So him, his wife, his daughter. Randall is this master leather worker, and he's always got some crazy new costume. Every time I'm lucky enough to actually, you know, to be, you know, invited to Comic Cons and pop culture cons as a guest because of my time on the Henson show, and I get to meet these really great people. And Randall and his family, I do a lot of cons in Texas, and Randall and his family are always like they're like it's like a family reunion. I get to see them again, and Randall, no, you cannot be listed as a beginner. Randall's always got some crazy new contraption. There was one, I'm going to mess it up. It's an anime character. It's got, I think it was called No Face or something like that. And he's handing me these little candies or something, and I didn't realize that it was a bad thing. And so yeah. No, you cannot be, listed as a, and his daughter and his wife are like these master seamstresses. I mean, they're just, and his daughter, if I remember correctly, is like getting her PhD in engineering or something. So no, Randall, no, you cannot. And I will warn the judges ahead of time. Watch out for the really big Texan, probably in a leather jacket, duster or whatever. Depends on what he's got that time. But hey, thanks for you. I'm going to go ahead and like that comment. Let me see. So talking to Jenny, doing a Hellboy costume with horns. Oh, so Jenny's actually doing a Hellboy costume. To be honest, it might be easier, Jenny, just to go with the flattened horns if that's already what you did. I don't know if you're going elongated, but since he's depicted more often with those chopped horns, it might be better to go that way. Or you can go another way, kind of get a little bit of best of both worlds and kind of make him look like they've been broken off, like he's in the stages of taking that down. That might also play into a little bit of originality as well. Let me think. He's referring to Jenny's cosplay. Okay, so Shaney's straightened things out for Dave there. Let me see. You see, we've got the Hellboy thing. So Randall's laughing. He apparently got the point. So let me think here. So Jessica is also a dear friend of mine from Texas. Jessica is she's kind of been my I don't know what you would call her. She's kind of been my unofficial handler every time I go to like Dallas All-Con. Just a real quick shout out to those cons. So next week we won't be doing a show next week because I will be appearing at Lubbock Con in Lubbock, Texas, and that'll be my second year there. And I'm bringing some friends of mine from the Creature Shop. So we got Yvonne coming from the Creature Shop. Woohoo! And and we also have Marcel and Walter from Face Off. Marcel's one of those rock stars that kind of helped get the whole thing started. He was on season 1 of Face Off, and they kind of went into that whole thing kind of, it was an iffy situation. There was some people in the industry who weren't too crazy about the fact that they were doing a show like that. And, these guys, they went in there and they kicked ass in these makeups. And it blows me away, so they transformed most of, Hollywood's view of how those shows run. And it would crack us up as much criticism as we got on the Jim Henson Creature Shop for some of the creatures that we had made. As soon as the cameras stopped, we were told very deliberately, "I can't believe you guys pulled that shit off." So it's good to hear from your peers and those people above you in the industry that looking at you doing shows like that and actually changing their minds. It was like, it wasn't what they thought it was going to be. We do put our heart and soul into those creatures, regardless whether the production is got their heart and soul into it or not. The contestants and the cast actually do. So let's see what we got down here. Let me see. So I was talking about Jessica. Can't wait to see you guys again at this year's con. Yes, I will be going back to All-Con as well. That's in Dallas. Dallas All-Con is like my all-time. We've actually modeled Ogden UnCon after Dallas. I love that show. This will be my 5th year as a guest, and I'm thrilled every year that they ask me to come back. I mean, it's like a 4-day con, and it's 24 hours a day, and it's just a party, and everyone there is just completely excited. I mean, this is their 15th year, And you know, Todd and the whole team down there are just incredible. Todd's the showrunner, and yeah, they're just an incredible group. And so Jessica is part of that. Jessica kind of handles, you know, situations for me, mainly, you know, keeping Randall away from me. You know, she's got to be the barrier, you know, between, you know, me and Randall, you know, because, you know, he's handsy. Randall's handsy. Anyway, let's move on. So Randall, Jessica, I'm looking forward to it. Yes. So Randall's looking forward for, you know, Jessica to handle, you know, the situation. Yeah. Anyway, so Stephanie, let me see. That broken horn idea sounds amazing. I want to see that. Yeah, you know, that's the cool thing about cosplay. You can do so many things, you know, and everybody knows that. But I mean, like those snapped off horns, and Ron Perlman did that, you know, in one of the Hellboys. I think it was the first one where he just, you know, he broke them off, and that rugged nastiness, you know, of the aftermath of having that would just be great. Plus, you know, you could mess with it a little bit and maybe put some, you know, like a watch battery in there with a little bit of with some LEDs, so they're getting just enough glow from the interior to kind of like to penetrate through the top, and, you know, some of the different surfaces and stuff to kind of make it look like it's actually, you know, got like heat inside. That might be cool as well. Might even be cool if I, you know, to just, you know, work some kind of little rig where you can kind of like have something pushing air through that so that there's like a little bit of smoke coming through, hide the tube in your hair. It's always good to be able to hide that kind of stuff in something that already exists, you know. Let me see. So will you do a broadcast from the con you'll be at? You know what? If it doesn't seem too wonky, I would totally do that. I mean, I'll have Yvonne there from the Creature Shop. Like I said, Walter and Marcel will be there. And you know, God, I can't even say enough great things about these guys. And Yvonne is like a little, you know, not a little sister. We're roughly the same age, but, you know, she's we had these roles on the show, and I had the what were they? I think I was the Papa Bear, and she was the Mama Bear, and then there was all these other, you know. So that didn't really, you know, make me feel great, you know, being the oldest person on the cast, you know. But oh well, you know. I mean, there was no makeup, you know, to dye my beard, and, you know, as you can see, the longer I go with this convention, the more gray my beard gets. So let me think. So Jenny, let me see. We got another question from Jenny. Can you tell us about the guy with the shutter shades on your logo? Yeah, so we put a compilation. This is a pop culture con, so we were trying to slam as many pop culture icons as we could into like a character that we could actually use as a mascot. And so Dr. Dude was born, and, you know, his name alone was sorry, I got looky-loos through the window. It's very unnerving, you know, when you're when you're alone, you got people going like this in the glass, and I got to clean that glass later. So anyway, so Dr. Dude, you know, the dude from, you know, The Big Lebowski, and then you've got the pointing finger is, you know, Uncle Sam. You know, we want you. You've got essentially a Terminator, you know, face with those little shades from the '80s, and Beetlejuice's hair. So, you know, we try to cram as much pop culture into one character as we possibly could. Yeah. So I don't know if we could call him Lady Uncon's alter ego, you know, or, you know, maybe Lady Uncon after a night of drinking, you know, or, since you guys are now aware, Lady Uncon after the delivery of Unconner. So, you know, which kind of fits into the whole Terminator thing at the same time. Connor, you know, yes, Sarah Connor. Anyway, thank you for the likes. That was a pathetic joke, but I sincerely appreciate that you've at least recognized that I tried. So, okay, so what else we got here? Can you, oh, that was the, let me see. Yeah, yeah. I would love to help you with those horns, Jenny. Unfortunately, I'm sort of temporarily retired. I have no time to do any kind of creative stuff of my own. I try to knock out a bitty Bigfoot every now and again. I've got a friend of mine I'm working on a puppet for a show that he's producing. I am dramatically falling behind on that. Essentially, I put out some puppets for some friends of mine at a con in Milwaukee. Those friends of mine, Wes, Kathy, and Phil, who did that Milwaukee con. They're the guys from the Land of the Lost. I did these little dopey puppets. God, yeah, it was so nice to be able to fit in a creative thing. But yeah, I at some point I hope to be able to return to the fun of building things again. Things with creature fur and hair and teeth and paws and yeah. Anyway, so let me see, Dave. Lady Uncon's alter ego. Yes, I love it. Yeah, yeah. I think we could get away with that. Let me think. So we got any more questions in here? Tell us more about UnCon. Yes, of course. Yeah. So, yes, I'll tell you more about UnCon, as if we don't do that every week. So we've talked to you guys, a bunch of times about our celebrity guests, and we're thrilled to have every one of them. Mostly, we had just announced 3 guests in the last 30 days. We had Paul St. Peter, the voice of a number of anime characters, and also one of I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name because I'm going to mess it up. But Kingdom Hearts, he's the bad guy in Kingdom Hearts, which Kim and M is just absolutely in love with, to a certain extent. And it's not Paul's fault. It's just, anyway, watch last week's episode and you'll see. So, we've got Paul St. Peter coming. We've got, who else do we have coming? We announced David Harbour, and just this week, we announced this really cool actor. He's 12 years old. He's got this iconic role. And anytime, almost everybody knows this character. The robot, who's constantly saying "Danger, Will Robinson." That'll be part of pop culture for almost the rest of eternity. So it's Maxwell Jenkins will be coming, and he plays Will Robinson in the new Netflix series. Lost in Space. And also, I want to make sure I get this out there, Toby plays his dad in Lost in Space. So he does the pirate thing in Black Sails, but in another universe, it's a different kind of ship that he's captaining, he's the captain of, so that, the spaceship, and in one universe, he's captaining, this pirate ship. He's a brutal guy here, but he's kind of a brutal guy up here. Because he's an ex-special forces guy who's taken his family into outer space and blah 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 blah. So he's like on either side of the spectrum, So Toby is also in the Land of the Lost, the Lost in Space, and he plays Max's dad in that, and so we'll have the father and son reunion. They just they just wrapped the shooting of season 2. So we're looking forward to seeing that. It's been cool to watch Max's posts on Instagram. There's lots of scenes where they were doing their final shots, and you can tell that it really took a lot out of them, and they were all probably excited that it was it was over because they get a chance to rest, but at the same time sad that it was over because it's like a little reunion, and so you could kind of see he was excited and a little overwhelmed, and then they had the wrap party and stuff, and it's been cool to watch his posts. Another one that's cool to watch his posts is Zach McGowan. He's a trip. I really cannot wait for that guy to show up at the con. All of them, but I get the impression that Zach's going to be our crazy man. We're probably going to have to put a bunch of security on him just to kind of keep him at his table or whatever. But really looking forward to all of these guys coming out. We really worked hard to pick really fun guests that would interact with our fans, not with our fans, with their fans and, you know, attendees of our con, you know, so that you guys don't feel like you're just trapped behind, you know, 2 feet of plastic, and that, you know, that you can't really talk to these people because you've got, in most places, you've got like 3 seconds to, you know, to get your autograph, to say hi, and, you know, move on. You know, we want to give you as much time as possible. I mean, within reason, you can't spend all night with them, but, you know, maybe we'll auction that off. You know, I don't know. No, probably not. So let's see. It's going to go back right here to some questions. Jenny's got something. Will you have beer vendor? Will we have beer vendor? Jenny, let's talk about this beer situation, all right? We have been meeting with beer vendors, local brewers, you know, craft beer guys. We're hoping to put, you know, a really cool, you know, beer garden together. And yes, without a doubt, there will be beer there. The Echo Center will have a nice setup on their end. We'll have a setup over at the Monarch. We're just working out the details, but yes, there will be beer aplenty. We're also trying to get some friends of mine. I went to college with this individual. We were kind of like the terrors of the English department. She now owns a distillery with her husband up in Eden. It's called New World Distillery, and we're hoping to have them come out and do some tastings of the stuff that they make. This is fantastic. I mean, we went up there just for a visit, and we left with like nearly $200 worth of alcohol that we probably didn't need. You know, I guess you don't really need it, but I hate gin with a passion. Hate it. Tastes like you're chewing on a juniper. And but their gin is so amazing. I mean, we literally bought a bottle. I would never have done that. I'm telling you, I would never have done that. But this stuff is fantastic. So we're hoping to get them up there to talk about their process, you know, because this is another art form. You know, distilling is an art form. Brewing these beers, that is an incredible art form. I mean, that's what we're talking about. You know, these conventions are just wall-to-wall art. I mean, even, you know, we had a conversation the other day about a First Friday art stroll, and, you know, what we could, you know, how we can incorporate other businesses into the art stroll. And the subject of a local bakery came up, and I'm like, you know, those bakeries create art on a regular basis. I mean, if it's a cupcake that's decorated, like I've seen some of they do like these women's shoes or something, you know, high, you know, stiletto heel shoes. I mean, there's art that goes into that. I mean, you know, anyone who has ever tried to work with fondant, you know, and thinks that, you know, that it's not art, you know, you know, maybe they should be a contestant on, you know, oh my God, now I can't remember what it was called. Nailed it. Yeah. Cause, you know, wow. I think that's another Netflix series. Let me see. What do we got? Yeah. Let me see. So, okay. So Jenny's excited about the alcohol. Amber Hendrickson is another friend of mine from Dallas All Con and from Texas. Her and her family are coming up for the con, so they're trucking on up here from. There's like a little caravan coming up. We got Randall. We got, you know, we got the Hendricksons. We got who else do we got? Oh, but Randall's not bringing his daughter because apparently she feels her trip to Europe is more important than me. So that hurt. So we got Randall, we got Jessica, we have a caravan coming up here, man, which is fantastic. I can't wait to show off Ogden to these guys. You know, try to feel like my knuckles got to pop here. So who else? So yeah, so basically, you know, with the creatures and stuff, I mean, I kind of wanted to do the show tonight. I wanted to wrap it around the whole idea of making, you know, try to get some local artists to definitely get some, you know, exhibitor spots at Ogden UnCon. I mean, we still have some left, and they're really inexpensively priced when you look at, you know, other conventions and stuff. You know, I mean, with as much draw as a pop culture con has, you know, there's some expense involved, and you kind of offset that a little bit with the, you know, the price of the booths, and, you know. And, you know, we keep hearing, you know, we keep hearing that, you know, people want to do it, but they're a little, you know, they're not sure. about first year cons, and that's a legitimate concern, but you guys have to understand the only way a convention becomes a second year convention is with the support of the local population. I mean, so definitely consider getting a booth, and we keep the price down so low that you have a better chance of being profitable. $300 for a booth at an event like this is almost nothing. And so you sell a couple of pieces, you've paid for the booth, and you're more likely to be profitable because you paid so little to get in. So make sure that you grab those booths, because number one, we want to be able to say, oh, we're out, sorry. I mean, definitely get in now and get those things. Let me think, what else do we got here? Stephanie, Craft Brews. You see, you're about to have a very jolly Toastmaster. Fantastic. You know what? Bring it on. Stephanie, if you have some suggestions of people that we should be looking at, let's do that. Send them our way, and we'll see what we can put together. We want people to be having a good time. We're trying to set up some things with the restaurants downtown so that we can carry over. The whole point of our con is to help brand Ogden as a destination. And so our goal is not just to make money, it's to essentially help out the local economy, and kind of like send all of our vast amounts of attendees downtown for the parties that are going to be going on, and the themes at the bars and stuff like that. I mean, we want this to be a citywide celebration. And you can't do that when you're sober. No, you can do that when you're sober. I'm just playing. So let me see. Please focus more on the booth. So what did I say? Boot? God, there's always one guy. Shut up, Dave. So I know he's laughing right now. He's got a little giggle going. So yeah, Dave. I tell Dave to shut up at least once. Once when I see him. So sometimes more online. I heard it too. Oh, come on, guys. Booths. I'm going to sound like a moron. Booths. So, okay. So, booths. Make sure you get your booths. Get on that. So, and also, tickets. So, guys, our best seller is VIP tickets. So, I'm going to give you a hint. There are not too many left, so you might want to jump on that. We're closing it out. Once they are done, they're done. So most conventions will sell as many VIP tickets as they do regular tickets. That's not the case here. We want VIP ticket holders to feel like VIP ticket holders. There will only be 300. Once those things are gone, they are gone. We're not adding tickets to that. We're not going to manufacture more. It's not going to happen. So there will literally be that much, and then they're done. So get them now, no joke. They are going really, really fast. So 3-day passes. We've got 3-day passes that are out there. Grab those, because I mean, we've had a bunch of 1-day passes sold, but when you think about it, if you buy a 1-day pass, and I can understand that if you have something coming on, like a vacation or something, you can only actually be there 1 day. That makes sense. But if you think you might do all 3 days, then buying a 2-day pass, or sorry, a 3-day pass makes a whole lot of sense, because you get the 3rd day for free. So, definitely get on that too. And, and definitely, pick them up now. I mean, I would love nothing more than to say we have sold out, because we are limiting ticket sales. So, there is a good chance that, if you show up on the day, we may not be able to sell you a ticket because we've reached capacity. This is not one of those conventions where we're going to outsell the capacity of the buildings. So, definitely consider that, so get on those now, and you could be one of the ones going neener, neener, nay, nay in the street when everybody else is sent home. So awesome. Think exclusivity. Was that enunciation enough for you, Dave? What do you got here? Answer Jenny's question about the gaming in hotels. All right. Oh my goodness. I can't even see the question about the gaming in hotels. I'm scrolling back. I am doing this alone, people. I do not see her question about gaming in hotels, but there will be 24-hour gaming. There is a list of all the cool games that we'll be doing. All of this is being put on by our buddies over at Under the Wing Gaming and Rocky Mountain RPG, and these guys are like experts. They're going to have all the DMs there. You know what's really cool is they're going to be setting up a table, probably a few tables, to help you create your own character. So if you're new to the whole process and you want to learn how to create your own character, there's no worry about it. I mean, you don't have to stress, because they're going to actually have a space there so that they can show you how to create character. I'm not going to go into detail about how to do that because I have no idea. So if you send us a message, we could send that over to Under the Wing Gaming and kind of get that to you. Real quick, we have a charity event coming up on March 9th. Speaking of gaming, it'll be held right here at the HQ. Also put on by Under the Wing Gaming and Rocky Mountain RPG. I think Rocky Mountain, I'm pretty sure. If not, I apologize. It'll be all female DMs. It's called Maidens and Mimics. We had other names that we were tossing around, so it's hard for me to not revert to one of the old names. Maidens and Mimics, and like I said, all female DMs. We'll have some tables set up here. It'll be like a kind of like go until until it's done kind of stuff. Dave has some plans for that, where I think they're going to be 1 hour I don't know if you call them missions, but so that way you can actually either continue on, or you could jump onto another table and try to play something else that's planned out in another area. There's just all this cool stuff going on. So the first our next First Friday art stroll, before I forget, we're going to be doing that on location downtown at a coffee shop on 25th Street. We will be having cosplayers there to do photo ops with people who are walking around downtown on historic 25th Street, looking for art, because that is the art stroll. We'll be pulling them in. We'll be getting some photos, and we'll be, it'll have a good time. Plus, there's coffee. Come on. So, what else do we have? Let me think. I'm getting yelled at by Jez. Randall saying, if I'm coming from it's going to be sorry, Randall. I'm like I said, I'm trying to do all this stuff at once, and I've got looky-loos outside that are kind of making me feel a little twitchy. Trying to think. Dave has posted. So Dave Knight has posted the Under the Wing Gaming sign up for Maidens and Mimics. So just look down in our comments, and you'll see Dave's got that little thing going on right there. And hi, how you doing? Stop licking my window. Okay, so let me see, Dave, come play some awesome games. Dave, can you do me a favor and also post in there the charity event that we're supporting? The charity that we're supporting in that particular event. And most of this is being put on by Under the Wing Gaming. We're essentially it'll be here at the Ogden Uncon HQ. Dave and his guys have worked really hard to put that together. So I don't want us taking any credit for it. We're just the location that'll be hosting. And so that's all, Under the Wing Gaming. Those guys have worked their butts off to put that together. So big shout out to Dave and his crew. Jenny, I often use the term maven. I do not know what that means. I probably should, but I do not. Are there discounts for hotels? Why, yes, Jezebel, there are discounts for hotels. And, we have some really great ones. Like the Marriott has really nice rooms. If anybody's ever been to the Courtyard Marriott, you know that they're nice rooms. They are $109 each. Get them while you can. We've got really cool suites over at the Bigelow that are still available. If you want those, jump on those. Especially for those of you guys who are out of town. You know, I know Randall jumped on that. I don't know if Jessica has or not. I think Amber has. So these are the people coming up from Texas. So yeah, jump on those. So yes, Jezebel, there are great deals on hotels. Yeah, she's kind of driving the conversation, trying to keep me in check. You're doing a great job. Thank you, Jenny. I appreciate that because I feel like I'm losing control. Anyway, I know that the ladies are much more entertaining than I am. They break out into song. They sometimes do this little dance. You know, they seem to be in sync almost as if they were joined at the brainstem. I have no one to be joined at the brainstem. And lucky for me, I am on camera tonight without Alyssa, who would be torturing me with some of the things that comes out of her mouth. All right. Let me see. So Dave has posted on here. So it's Utah Coalition Against Sexual Assault. So that is the charity that we're trying to raise money for with the Maidens and Mimics. So come on, guys, don't be punks. Come out and play. You know you're going to be playing at Dungeons and Dragons at home and stuff. You know you're going to be doing it. Why not come out? You know, get abused by a female dungeon master. Seems like a no-brainer to me. You know, and things and stuff. Stephanie Watson. Let me see. Is there any way any of the local contest creators podcasts can get involved or help out? Stephanie, if you could tell me how do you mean get involved and help out? Are you talking about Maidens and Mimics? Are you talking about some of our doing shows elsewhere on locations, or are you talking about the convention itself? If you're talking about the convention, we do have press passes, and we will work with some local, podcasters to try to, to get some really cool content going out. I do know that there is a requirement for some podcasters to send us their analytics so that we know how many people that you reach on a regular basis. And that's just to make sure that, we don't have anyone who decided one day, he picked up a pencil. He has no intention of being a podcaster, but wanted a free ticket. So we're just trying to make sure that those of you who are actual podcasters are definitely treated with respect and you get those passes, and not having someone who didn't earn it, come by. So let me see. Charles. What have we got from Charles? What a night act. Let me see. What a nightly activities are available other than partaking in adult beverages. Is there any other? So Charles wants to know what other nightly activities we have besides partaking in alcoholic beverages. Well, he's ex-military. There is no other. I'm just kidding. So yes, we have a ton of stuff going on at night. Panels. Our goal is to do panels all night long, until the wee hours of the morning, because that's what our friends at AllCon do, Dallas AllCon. They're a 24-hour con, and yes, there are panels and there are things going on all night long. If you doubt me, go check it out. Like, if there's any way that you could head off to Dallas, check that out. Check out that convention. That is a killer convention. So, we have panels going off all night long. Oh, one thing I want to tell you. So we're going to put the questions on hold for just a second. I have been talking with Jay Bonansinga. He's the author of The Walking Dead. I was going to look behind me and point to the poster, but there's creatures blocking all of that. Jay Bonansinga, and I can't mention his name yet, but we have another veteran, a fallen veteran of The Walking Dead, who will be announced soon enough. They have written this amazing screenplay. It is going to be an 18 and over situation. But they're going to do this amazing table read of this this screenplay that they've written and put into production. Now, if you aren't someone who is familiar with a table reading, no one outside a production team gets to see these. This is when the actors and the writers get together and they go around the table and they act out the pieces of this screenplay. And I'm not authorized. I think I probably am, but I'm not going to take the chance. We have this really cool family playing the part of in this particular screenplay. As soon as I'm able to announce, I think a lot of you guys who are into really heavy punk music are going to lose your minds when you find out who this is that's coming out to read during this table reading. His son is an actor. He's like a little younger than Max. I think he's 9 or 10 years old. And to support his son's acting career, this individual and the mother are coming out to act out this family, that's in that's in the screenplay. And we're going to set it up so it's this really cool evening. It is a horror screenplay. So there's a lot of or maybe psychological kind of things. So we're gonna set it at 18 and over. We'll have like a little cocktail hour. It's actually probably gonna be about 90 minutes to get through the script. And I think you guys are going to love it. This is something that no one else gets to see. You definitely don't get to see this at other conventions. This will be held in the executive room at the Echo Center. I think we're shooting for. I'll have to check the schedule. It's either going to be a Friday or Saturday night. Probably Friday night. So this is something that you're going to want to sign up for. I don't think we're charging for this at all. But we do. I think there's only this particular room has seating for about 100 people. So if it's something that you guys are interested in, once we post this, if you want to sign up to be a part of this, Real Guru Experience is actually coming in to bring these actors in so that they can act out, Jay Bonansinga and this other individual screenplay. So, so it's a collaboration between three of our guests. And this family of actors who are coming out, just amazing. It's an amazing situation. And so you guys will be able to sit there and just watch this thing come to life in front of you. There's this really cool conference table at the bottom of the executive room, and that's where the actors and the Jay and the other individual who will be announced will be sitting, and they'll be acting out this thing, and it's sort of like stadium seating around. So you'll be able to look down and watch as this thing unfolds. And so it's just incredibly cool. So those of you who are interested in the whole Real Guru experience that we're bringing to Ogden UnCon, you might want to kind of like parcel some of your time out so that you're able to go in there and watch that. Because if you're breaking into the industry, this is something that you may be a part of, at some point, hopefully, and you'll at least have experienced it in real time with professional. Screenplay, authors and I think they're just called screenwriters, and actors, and even production staff. So casting directors will be there, producers will be there, the screenplay authors will be there, the actor. I mean, this is going to be an incredible event. And I'm really thrilled because Jay I was asking Jay what kind of panels he wanted to do for the convention, and he lit there's this really great list of panels that I can't wait to unleash. But at the same time, Jay is also, he kind of mentioned, do you think this might be fun? And I just jumped on it. And we've just from that, it took us 2 weeks to put this whole thing together. Jay sent me the email. I got, excited, squealed like a 10-year-old girl, called Katrine over at Real Guru and said, hey, listen, is this something that we can do? By the time, the 2 weeks had passed, we had cast those parts. Jay's excited. We're excited. Katrine's excited. The actors and his families, the family is excited. It's going to be great. And we got 2 additional guests out of it. So, you know, we're way fired up about this. So this is going to be one of those things where you're going to want to sign up immediately, because when you see this, when you see it in theaters, when you hear when it's coming out to theaters, you can say, oh my God, I sat there at the table reading of this. Because we're talking Jay Bonansinga, man. I mean, as far as I know, I was talking to I believe it's his manager, probably a couple of months ago, and they've got a project that they're releasing in England that's being cast by I think they said, don't hold me to this, but I'm pretty sure it was Jason Statham. I think, I mean, so Jay is a player, man. I mean, so you guys have got, to come check this thing out. So let me see what I have missed. I have geeked out on Jay enough for tonight, I think. Let me see. Russ, Stephanie, LOL. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. You're adorable. I don't know if Jezebel's talking to me. I'm gonna assume she is. What else do we got here? Let me see. Will you have photographers there? Yes, Jenny. We will have photographers here. We got this awesomely talented photographer over at Raven and Moon who's going to be taking care of all of our photo ops, and she's going to be doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff. We got photographers who are part of our volunteer staff that are going to be recording every inch of the behind the scenes. We are really excited about all of the team players. I mean, all the players that came in to build this team. I mean, I just, the guys who have come in to help us put this thing together and know full well that, hey, listen, this is a first year con. We are really trying to kick this off with, this micro con, trying to do it, like the big guys, and that's we're pulling it off. We're actually making this happen. And it's because of these team of people that have come out to help us out. I mean, Ogden has just been amazing with all of the help that we've gotten. So, big shout out to all of you who are helping out with this convention, because we couldn't do it without you. I mean, Charles and his guys, I mean, in one day we had 90 volunteers for, close to 90 volunteers for like security and stuff. And it was just like, you're overwhelmed by the people that just want to come out and help and make this thing a reality. So we are desperately grateful for every one of you guys. So, before it's getting a little bit, I'm gonna move on. Let me see. Yes, Charles. Yes. So I hope I answered your question about the beer, Charles. And I better not see you near the beer garden. Let me see here. Why are we talking about Stephanie's booths? Oh dear God. They were trying to trip me up, and I didn't go for it. I said booths. So I'm sorry if I'm from Pennsylvania, and we have a bit of an accent up in there. All right? Let me see. It's Steven. I don't know who Steven is. I don't know who we're talking about. Stephen, not Stephanie. Oh, how am I? Oh, sorry, Steven. I'm sorry. So apparently, I'm trying to squint looking at this damn thing and I'm getting crap. I am sorry, Steven. Steven. I'm sorry I mispronounced your sorry. Okay. And Dave, shut the hell up. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, laugh it up, Dave. You see. So even Amber's starting on this. Amber, shut the hell up. God. So, okay, so I'm getting crap from Texas. I'm getting crap from locals. Okay, I am sorry about the Stephanie thing, okay? I don't know why. At a quick glance, it looks like a Stephanie. I'm sorry. Let me see. I can't really do anything with this picture in fear that I might disconnect us, okay? I get it. LOL name is always butchered too. Yes, Chantelli. Shaney. I suck at names, okay? I've got a master's in literature, and and while I was getting that degree, you read a lot, okay? I'm sure you can imagine. and we were reading this book. It is one of my favorites. It's called Things Fall Apart. And it's by, you know what, I'm not even going to pronounce his name. He's an African author, and this is a story about an African tribesman, and it's just sort of like, it's almost like he kind of willed himself into becoming his father, you know, and, you know, he tried to be the best possible person he could in this community, but in trying to do so, forced himself into this failure, you know, that, you know, his father, you know, had brought this disgrace to his village. So, but the names, like Okonkwo, you know, were so hard, you know, for a guy with dyslexia to get these names. And so I remember the first time I had read the book, I was struggling with the name, and I would just call him Okinawa. So I have problems with names, okay? So, and it does kind of suck when you're trying to read something fast and your dyslexia is punching you in the face, you know? So, don't feel bad for me. Don't feel bad for me. Dave's making fun of me. All right, let's move on. All right, so Dave's laughing some more. Stefan is laughing. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing now it's in my head, and I'm going to be messing it up. I have a friend of mine called his name's Monty, and one of our guests' name is Mort, and I had been talking to Mort all day. And when I was done talking to Mort online, you know, I started talking. It was the next day, and I was talking to Monty, and I started calling Monty Mort. Now, I've known Monty for quite a while, so it's not like I didn't know what his name was. But you could tell it was really starting to aggravate him, and I couldn't. So I made the mistake. And when I was corrected, I felt self-conscious, and then I was terrified because I kept making the damn mistake. And, you know, anyway, bite me. Let's do this. Let's move on. All right. So what do you got here? Anyways, I got to go get some editing done. Oh, now you're going to leave. You caused a stink, and now you're going to leave. But y'all are awesome. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. I'm definitely going to do my best to make it next weekend. Let me say next week. Keeping it. Okay, awesome. What else do we got here? Wonder Twins. That's Randall. I don't know what that's referencing. I'm sure it's something that I missed. Our powers combined. That was Shaney, so that must have been a back reference. I'm missing out on some stuff here. And Wonder Twins again. This time it was one word instead of two. Charles is laughing at me. Y'all go spit. All right. So, do we have any questions about the convention? Any creature questions? I mean, have we given you enough furriness this evening? You know, I mean, my goal was to excite you with the furriness and the cuteness. I don't really do cute. He's not cute. He's not cute. Even though I love the little lion. He's definitely not cute. These guys are sort of cute. I tried cute. You know, whether I succeeded or not, I don't know. Trying to see if anybody else is on here. Okay, so holy crap, I have been on for over an hour. So I have held you up long enough, I think. And I've also been in this building since, I think, 11 o'clock this morning, and I haven't been out. Except for to get a cup of coffee. Well, I guess that means I've been out. So I guess don't feel bad for me, Argentina. So you guys have any more questions? I would love to answer them. Swear to God. You know, what else we got? Oh, wait. We had a little scroll. I feel excited. Well, that's good, Shaney. I'm glad you do. And Jezebel, when is UnCon? Dear God, if you don't know when UnCon is by this point, then I have failed you. It's June 7th through the 9th. It's 3 days, 3 days of awesomeness. We will be doing things leading up to the convention. So, I mean, there's that. You know, like I said, March 9th, we've got the whole, mimics and maidens and mimics coming up. What else do we have? Trying to think of some of the other things. We are working hard right now, trying to make something work with the Megaplex 13 at the Junction, so that we can maybe have a screening, just us, the people behind the scenes here at Ogden UnCon and the attendees watching the movie Hellboy together, because we've got Hellboy coming. You know, we might as well gear up and get those questions ready. So, you know, we're working on that. We're going to be trying to do some other little events here and there. We have a surprise with the mayor coming up, the mayor of Ogden coming up. We're going to torture him with some costume goodness. We're going to turn him into a cosplayer, y'all. Going to turn him into a cosplayer. The costume is almost done. We still have some work to do. So Kim and M, get over your food poisoning. And, you know, I actually hope both of those guys are all right. Flu sucks, and you know, definitely food poisoning sucks. So, so Jezebel, I hope I have answered your question. You know, we got a couple of likes. Everybody likes, you know, Jezebel's comments, and so, you know, anyway. So yes, so we've got some events coming up. You know, kind of keep your eye on things. Some of these events that we're going to have coming up are going to be, you already have to have a ticket. So if you don't have a ticket, then you can't really participate in that. So, I mean, even before the actual convention, you know, we're going to be, you know, giving you access. So, you know, come on, you know, get a ticket. And if your friends don't have tickets, hound them until they do. You know, hold their hand to the keyboard or their laptop or their desktop or even their cell phone. You can order it on your cell phone. You can, I promise. I tested it myself. You can do it. So buy your tickets, get your friends to buy your tickets. And, you know, if you've got an organization that you want us to look into, you know, definitely let us know. We've done some really cool stuff for some other organizations, you know, hoping to bring them into the fold. You know, we did this really great reach out to the furry community. We want to see them here. We want to see the gamers here. We want to see the cosplayers here. We want to see the anime people here. We want to see, this is essentially, you know, your new home is Ogden. So, you know, I mean, we got this little slogan, you know, I'm going to say it. Oh, now marks the spot for pop culture in Utah. Said it. Let's do this. I got some people with their faces straight out against the glass. I wish they would stop that. It's making me high. How you doing? All right. No, I'm not answering that door. I ain't unlocking that door for anybody. Nobody. All right, guys. So let me see. What's this? Jenny. It is Jenny, right? The Cybertronic. I can't click on that. The Cybertronic spree. You might have touched on something that you weren't allowed to talk about in the group. Like you might know something. Stop that. All right. So, Jenny, we're going to ignore you from this point on. Shaney. There's a lot of E names in here tonight. Let me see. That's how you get murdered, opening the door for strangers. Thank you. You saw the movie. You know, that was one of the creepiest movies I've ever seen, you know, when it comes to horror movies, Strangers. I mean, because they were just bored. I mean, they just went out and just started killing people. They were just bored. Don't open your door. I mean, not even for the FedEx guy, because you can't trust anybody nowadays. Cool. So Jenny is sending me question marks. You might want to just PM me, you know, or DM me, or message. Yeah. Or message. Yeah. Just do that. Jenny. All right. All right. So we're whittling down. Holy crap. We have reached 117 comments in this episode. I didn't even have to take my shirt off, which I was going to threaten to do. And, you know, all it took was some fuzziness. So, guys, remember the cosplay contest. We have got these amazing prizes. Now, these are my videos. I ain't giving you any of them. But, like, I've got, like, there's 2 there, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are way more than 8, man. I mean, they're probably... Let's put it this way. I haven't even scratched the surface, and I own $3,000 worth of these videos. These things are incredible, okay? And this is one of the prizes that you get at the cosplay contest. You know, this is knowledge, people. This is building knowledge. This is creature knowledge, for God's sakes. I mean, for God's sakes, you know, I mean, this is stuff you'll have for the rest of your life. So yeah, you can't put a price on knowledge anyway. So okay. Well, no, okay. I thought there was another comment. There is no comment. So real quick, any quick questions? And then we're going to go ahead and sign off. I just wanted to tell you guys about the cool prizes at the cosplay contest. You know, I wanted to try to help out wherever I could with cosplay questions. Jenny, I think it was you. I hope we answered the questions about your horns. I would love to see pictures of what you're putting together. And we out. All right, guys. Nice talking. Wait, I think there's one sneaky question. Randall, one last question. Nice. I need those videos. Yes, but Randall, you're not a beginner. You don't have to be a beginner. I don't even know if we could call you an intermediate, dude. All right. But yes, enter the contest. It would be great to have you guys enter the contest. Even your daughter, who doesn't want to come visit me, she'd rather be in Europe. Okay? All right, guys. Hey, thanks for all the attention and stuff. If you guys have any additional questions, feel free to send us a message. We try to get to them as quickly as possible. If we don't get to it right away, we are going to get to it. So we will talk to you guys soon. Have a good one.